Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Beyond The Barclay with me, Jez Davies. I am joined with the sexiest man in Dereham, Mr. Morgan Hewitt.
As I live and breathe.
I'm
good. I'm good. Still troshing along, minding my own business, watching the fireworks blow up. But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, likewise, metaphoric fireworks. Watching Norwich City at the moment. So yeah, very, very much so. The reason we're doing this brief chat, Morgan, is just to intro our episode today, which is with teacher Tommy T. We actually recorded it a couple of months ago, and he's asked us to do like a little bit of a preface of it, just basically saying to everyone, well, 2 months ago it was a very different story for Norwich City, so he just wanted us to really say that, because some of the stuff that he said about Norwich then might not be relevant now.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a great episode. I think a little bit of light relief for our five viewers. Circumstances at the moment may not be the best for the men's, but the women's team, however, are starting it. And if you and I'm going to plug it. If you are a Norwich fan and you want to get your Norwich fix, where you actually see success, head down to the Nest, check out some of the women's fixtures. You won't be disappointed. It's a great day out. Really family friendly, and a really positive atmosphere. So yeah, check the women's team out if not.
Absolutely. Just a reminder to everyone else, do like and subscribe on our channel for more great content, and we are part of the Talk Sports Fan Network. Enjoy the episode, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Beyond The Barclay with me, Jez Davies. I am, of course, joined with my illustrious co-host, Morgan Hewitt. Hello, Mr. Hewitt, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Just for everyone else, I like that pause on that bit. I'm, of course, joined by my co-host, my illustrious co-host, Morgan Hewitt. It's like you've been doing this for a while now, haven't you?
Either that or I just forgot your name, to be honest, more to the point. Just for everyone else watching, just whilst I've got everyone's attention and they haven't switched off and started watching Dexter, you can like and subscribe on our YouTube channel for more great content, and please do rate us and comment on all of the various podcast outlets that we are on, Apple, Spotify, because you're listening, so you actually know that we're here already. So without further ado, Morgan, let's intro our guest today. We are absolutely delighted to be joined with Teacher Tommy. Hello, Teacher Tommy. Is that how we refer to you, or is it just Tommy?
TT.
Well, as a teacher, I've been called a lot worse. So you refer to me however you like to see. It's absolutely fine. But absolute pleasure to be on here. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Cheers.
No, it's great. Perhaps you'd just like to introduce yourself. Just give our listeners a bit of a backstory about you, please.
Yeah, so I'm Teacher Tommy T. I'm from Norwich. I work at City College Norwich. I'm a SEND teacher, but I'm sort of well known now after the last sort of 5 years since lockdown for making teacher school life humour videos on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And I think over that time, I sort of have about 4 million reach now of followers. So yeah, It's going quite well, but it's still a part-time sort of thing. I dabble, and I'm still like pretty much a full-time teacher. So I'm well grounded as well, and a proper Norwich fan as well.
No, that's good. I mean, we met you at the recent Amber's Army event at Dereham Town, and thanks once again for your contribution to our episode, which will go out later this year. With that, maybe just touch upon that and why you felt it was so important to take part in that event.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, absolutely. So Amanda, who's obviously was Amber's mother, she used to work at the college, and she's always wanted to get us sort of involved, involved in whatever. I think the fact, obviously, I've built up my profile. We're getting young families come along, making people more aware about these kind of things that can happen, sadly, to families, from what poor thing that happened to Amber as well. And it was just an honour to just be able to support. I think we raised £30,000, so it's the biggest charity organisation of raising money I've ever been part of. I found that out the other day, and it really touched me. That the match itself is wonderful. Like, loads of people turned up. It was brilliant, and the atmosphere is great. And also, I got a really cheeky tap in against Norwich. So, bunch of Norwich legends. Apparently, Adam Dury, he needs to work on his defence still, but I had him, so it's great. So it was a great day.
Yeah.
I was really proud to be part of it, and Amanda and her family just incredible. So, and thanks for you guys being there as well, because it helps publicise it more. So yeah, it's brilliant.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
just on that,
sorry,
I want to actually give a shout out to Benny McCann for sorting out Amber's starting out kicking Amber's army off, and a big shout out to Durham Town as well for supplying the space to do so. So Benny McCann, Durham Town, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it finished off about 22 aside, didn't it? I sort of looked across to the pitch and thought
we had two goalies on. The ref still didn't spot it.
yeah.
We were the only people that were on the pitch at the time, Jez.
Yeah, it was disappointing personally, but no. Honestly, it was great. It was really good to watch, and our own man Adrian Coote was playing, and I know he really enjoyed it as well. So I mean, moving on, and can I just call you Tommy? Because I think
of course. Sorry, call me Tommy. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
because if I just call you,
fine either way.
If I call you Teacher Tommy throughout the whole episode, it might be a bit. So Tommy, if you could just perhaps talk about your first Canary memory. So what was the moment that made you fall in love with Norwich City Football Club?
So, like, first vivid memories, my dad got to take me around for one of those tours, and because we got the picture, I think I was like 2 years old, and it's me touching the football as you go out onto the turf of Carrow Road. It's like a sort of bronze ball, and I remember walking around on my dad's shoulders. So that's my vivid memories. If I'm going to be honest, because I'm like 37, and any 37-year-olds in this era will know supporting Norwich in the 90s was pretty pants. Like, it was tough. We're talking like the later 90s, early noughties was not easy all the time. So I drifted, but I was always a Norwich fan. I dabbled with Man United at one point. It's a low point in my life, but they had a good run in the 90s. But my biggest memory in Norwich, and my favourite time, was the year we took on Wolves in the playoffs, and Paul McVeigh, smallest man on the pitch, gets a goal. Ewan Roberts was like the most prolific player for me at the time. I adored him. Because he saved our club from relegation, God knows how many times. And that is my biggest memories. Is we beat a team that Wolves should have beaten Norwich, and the fact that we went away in the second leg, we held off. So I always remember that day, and just the crowd, the buzz, and that feeling of seeing success. I mean, that was the first taste of success as a Norwich fan for me. And I went to Bungay High, and that was tough because everyone's mainly Ipswich. So that was one of my biggest real times I connected with the club, and I've really loved the club for that moment. But Paul McVeigh and Malky Mackay, I think, scored as well. It was insane.
He did. Yeah, I think it was 3-1 in the first leg, and then I think at Molineux it was 1-0 to them, but it meant we'd obviously gone through on aggregate. And I think the final day of that, for us to get to the playoffs, I think it was either goal difference or 1 point, and someone will correct me obviously in the comments, but I'm almost certain we beat Burnley to get to make the playoffs. So we only just made it, and then, as you said, because we snuck in the back door a little bit, played Wolves, who finished third, obviously, beat them, and then the Birmingham City final, which I went to in Cardiff, which was a bit of a heartbreak, really. But you're right, all those players you mentioned, Mark Rivers, Ewan Roberts, Clint Easton, David Nielsen was class. Mark Libra, what a cult hero he became, and scoring that goal against Man City right at the start of that season as well. It was.
Any young Norwich fans want to know what those players are like, buy a game on PlayStation called This Is Football 2 or This Is Football, and they are in there. So yeah, I used to tweak it, and like the ridiculous heights of Ewan Roberts to Paul McVeigh were just like, he looked like a child. It was just like so unfair, but it was. I was like, on playing the game, it was the best time to be a Norwich fan. But I know a funny fact about that: they took away the golden goal rule, so when Ewan Roberts scored. That would have counted, but because it's the year Norwich did it, no, Birmingham scored and we did penalties. I think, they all missed them. It was terrible to watch. I think Worthington took off a load of players, put a defensive on, and anyway, we went up a few seasons later nonetheless, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that was sort of the Huckabee era, wasn't it? I guess, in the Peter Crouch turning out for us. And that was, I think obviously I'm 39, so we're very similar vintage in that sense of following Norwich, and those years leading up to that time of promotion. You're right. It was just, we were lucky if we finished mid-table, and some of the players that rocked in, like Neil and Steen Nedergaard, who was actually quite a good player.
He was one of my favourite players back in the day. Yeah, Darren Kenton was a brilliant player as well. But Nedergaard was outstanding. I mean, Gary Holt was just insane. The guy just moved everywhere. And I always remember as a kid, someone told me he smoked. I bet he didn't. But if he did, I don't know how he did it, because he just moved around all the time. I was like, this guy's insane. What a player Gary Holt was. And then Youssef Safri came in and did that belter. So that's kind of my era. I evolved. I was like, I love this club. I love it.
I'm going to do a very YouTube thing here and pointing up into the top corner, because I'm going to put the Gary Holt episode into the top corner for our YouTube viewers. We had Gary Holt on a few weeks ago.
We did, and that's you getting pro now, Jez. That's your life.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm hoping I'm going to get some tips from the man with 4 million followers. So
on the slide.
Yeah, Morgan.
So let's combine two of your loves. So football, Norwich City, and classroom teaching.
Yeah.
So Carrow Road classroom.
I love this.
Jez. If you could teach one Norwich player a lesson, who and what would it be?
Right, he's no longer one, but I'd teach Nunez loyalty. I would teach him loyalty. It would be a PSHE lesson.
Yeah,
a little bit of geography as well, to teach him about, the fact that Norwich and Ipswich are the only rivals in this area of East Anglia. He could have chosen any club. He could. I don't like selling to people in the same league, let alone your rivals. But to go, like, he could have gone to Leicester, and I'd have been like, that annoyed me. But and the fact he posts, I'm trying not to be bitter, but the fact he posts, like, come on, tractor boys and stuff like that. It's the loyalty in it, and it stirs up hatred. I don't like that. I don't want to see that, because Nunez was fantastic for us, and he scored against them, and that loyalty. I don't like this anymore. The touching of the badge and kissing the badge. He did that against Ipswich, and I hope they remember that when he scored that goal past them. But so I teach Nunez loyalty. And sticking with your club, or just not going to your local rivals, any team he could have picked. And then I don't think he saw any problem of what I've heard behind the scenes. He doesn't see any issue of what he was doing. So it's just about understanding, like, you're in Norwich. This is Norwich. You don't go down that road. Don't go there. But there you go. So Nunez I would teach. Or back in the day, it would have been Darren Huckabee not running in the corridor, probably, because he'd have been like really fast down the corridor. I was thinking, like,
danger.
But that would have been a good one. But something like that. Or like Malcolm Mackay and Craig Fleming probably not playing Bulldog, because you'd have never got past them. Do you know what I mean? So so I'd have probably Nunez loyalty. That's what I've been sort of sitting on that for a while, that one.
I can tell.
Excellent.
There's a lot of passion there. But there's a lot of passion there. But I mean, part of it is like, maybe he's just not got that many. Maybe he's just not that savvy.
No.
Maybe he's just not all there.
You said that. I didn't say that. My good friend O'Neill, he was not happy, was he? O'Neill really went for him on his YouTube channel as well. I was like, wow, the friendship's gone there. So even he understood. He was like, this is not what you do. I think he's making coffee now, which is great. So it's brilliant. He's brewing a coffee for him.
I saw he was doing some he was a florist the other day on the.
I saw that. But that's the contrast, you see. That's why I like Onel Hernandez, because he's a Norwich boy. He's a proper Norwich boy. He's all about. He's come to Norwich. He's part of the Norwich culture. He loves the mark. He loves the people. He gets it, and that's all I ever want from footballers at Norwich. We know we're a team that we're going to take on brilliant players, and they're going to go elsewhere. And it's just, to the bigger clubs. Sometimes we've always been that club. We know that, but I like what Onel's approach has been. That's my kind of player. So there you go. That's my answer to that one.
Any players you think might be a little bit disruptive in the class? Sort
of. Todd Cantwell probably doing some dance moves. A little bit of that. Imagine Grant Holt. He's when I played against him, he's very chatty. He wouldn't be like you stop talking, Grant. I appreciate it. Stop butting in. But probably those two really. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, back to that Ambers Army game. Of me and Morgan were watching on this sort of quite near to where they lined up the Norwich team, and within the first 30 seconds, one of the Ambers Army team kicked out a player, and he straight away was like, "Oh, I'll go," or something like that. Yeah. So you could tell that was what sort of player he was, and you can tell why the opposition used to get wound up by him, because he was probably constantly chirping in their ear. So fair play. I think perhaps moving on to our next question. So I think you're wearing it. So what is your favourite ever Norwich kit and why?
Right. So I love this one. I think it's 93, 94 away. But this is one of my favourites. But this, boys, is my absolute favourite as a kid.
Oh, I love that one.
This one.
Yeah.
It's the Coleman's one. So for anyone listening, it's like that navy. Then you've got the light sort of highlight, what's it called? High vis green and yellow.
Fluorescent, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, fluorescent, sorry, yeah. I love that. And then one of my favourite times is when we had, is it Error, the Italian make? I used to love that one as well.
Yeah.
So I love that one. But yeah, this was, as a kid, I wore this all the time. So I never, just loved it, absolutely loved it. But yeah, this is also my favourite one as well. So yeah, I've got about 3. It's hard to choose, that was.
Yeah. No, I mean, the away kit, the one that you just put up with the Coleman's mustard with the fluorescent bits, that is my best ever away kit, and I've been wanting them to do like a remake of it for years. I think it would look so, like a modern version of that would look so good.
Didn't you
say they're all coming back, aren't they? All the 90s are coming back round again, so I'd love that one back as well.
Go on, Morgan.
I said, didn't you sell that to Billy?
I did, but only because he put a ridiculous offer in on it. Thanks, Billy. But
what was the hang on? What was the offer? Because anyone wants it now. I
don't know. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But I mean, Billy's a passionate shirt collector, and I told him about it. It was a match worn shirt, the one I had, and it had the nationwide badges on. I bought it off eBay myself, so it wasn't like it was one that I grew up with. It was actually Adrian Coote's match worn shirt. Funnily enough,
that's
and he put it on. Well, he put it on display at the Forum when he had the shirt fair in May or June or whenever that was. But yeah, he's a passionate shirt collector, is Billy. So I didn't begrudge him. I mean, in terms of home kits, I like the one that when Fark, the first promotion season, so almost the remake of the Bird. With the diamonds and stuff along here.
Oh yeah,
that was one of Araya's last kits. I don't think it was the last one, but it was one of their last ones. That was a really, really nice kit. What about you?
I'm going to say, actually, and I really, really enjoy it, is this season's home shirt. I think it's nice. Really incredible. And also up close, it's got this weird sort of different fabrics, so like different textures. And the way they've done that collar, and it's like, it reminds me, was it Ashley Ward who every kid had on the back of their shirt in 94, 95? It reminds me of them. So I really love the new home shirt. I think they've done a great job. They've done a really good job on that this season. I think it's been really good the last few seasons, but that one's just blown me away of late. But if they'd have done a better job of it, I think it'd probably be up there as one of my favorites. Is that half and half kit that unfortunately Aviva had that massive, it looked like a Lego block, but because it was an homage to like when we had black shorts and black socks, I think back in the 1920s or whatever, and the Aviva logo just ruined it. They should have just done a like for like, just straight down the middle, black, and it would have been really different. like black, even for a home kit, black shorts and black socks, a real like nod to the history. I think it would have been amazing. But yeah, they muffed it up a little bit, and then obviously that season we got relegated. So it's bittersweet, I think.
Indeed. Right, Mr. Hewitt.
Is it my turn? Sorry, I'm usually a little bit more involved than this. It's because I'm kind of getting nostalgic. So a match day must-have. What's your go-to routine if you have one? What's your go-to routine? A snack that you enjoy, or
I
any
love this
odd
question.
superstition?
Right, so the superstition, I think it's every footballer's one now. So it's a bit cliche, but like if we've won with that shirt I've worn, it has to be worn again. That's just the standard thing, right? But like if I had like an undershirt on or something, that would also have to be worn. And maybe if like how I'd watch TV that day. So back in the day when I used to watch Soccer AM, if we'd won, I'd have to watch Soccer AM again. I'm very superstitious. I know it's ridiculous, but so the day would have to have a similar vibe to the previous Saturday run up, right, or lineup. Right. Other shops are available, but I used to like going to Morrison's, like down to Riverside for the fry up. I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but there are other shops available out there. But my dad and I would go, we'd park at what used to be Trouse. That was a big thing. Like where we were on the bridge, you can't park there now, by the way. But like you park on this bridge on Trouse, and if we got the top spot, I felt positive it'd be a good day. But then if we lost, it'd be a quick exit out, back to Bungay, right? But top spot there, walk down over thing. If the train came at the same time, that always felt good. And then then we'd walk there, have a chat, hit Morrison's, get the brekkie, whatever you could build up your 10 items, whatever. And then I'd get a program. But also, I don't know if Norwich City do this anymore, and I do not gamble, kids. But the golden goal ticket you'd get, I don't know if they still do that. I used to like the little golden goal thing, so I'd scratch that. That was my proper running. Now with kids, it's just like if you get there on time, you're having a good day. But sweets, sweets. It has to be fruit pastels and a Mars bar. But yeah, it'd always be the Morrisons, and then that would be the running really.
Yeah. I think it's interesting you mentioned obviously having to watch soccer. I had visions of you Sky Plus in it when we won, and then just watching the same program, same guests and stuff. Be like the bit out of Family Guy where they're watching the Stewie locks him in the basement, doesn't he? And it's Quagmire and the other one, and they were just constantly watching the Sky intro channel. They're just repeating it constantly. Little Family Guy reference for you there, boys. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I Morrison's is great. I mean, a guy that sits next to me and has sat next to me for a long time religiously goes in there, goes to the hot counter, and gets himself chicken nuggets and chips, and that's his little. Sometimes he graces us with the garlic sauce, which a few rows around, sort of, circumference of 5 or 6 seats feels the benefit of that. So yeah, I'm in the epicenter of that garlic sauce, Tommy. So I don't tend to get the full waft.
People are going to start recognising this now, though, Jez. I think because I lived in London for 18 years, it was a lot more difficult for me to kind of get back to Carrow Road. So I used to watch a lot of games in the Red Lion, the old Red Lion in Angel, and it's like a Norwich City pub. But I think I'd always get I don't get so nervous anymore, weirdly. I think probably because just getting older, and so it doesn't have as much impact on my weekend as it used to. I used to get so nervous about watching the game on the big screen with the other lads who was Norwich fans as well. Norwich City expats. Shout out to Ben Glacier, obviously. But Damien Devine, who had the old Red Lion in Angel. Again, cracking guy. I really hope to get him on here at some point. He used to sell Wherry, and it used to be one of the only places. This is a beer. Kids don't drink, but it's the only. It's a Norfolk ale, and it's the only place in London at that time you could get like a nice pint of Wherry. So you're looking at back in 2012, 2013. Nowhere else had it then, and it's not too strong, so it's just kind of nice to just reduce that element of anxiety before the game. but I'd only really have it because it was a Norfolk thing and no other reason. But yeah,
They're the roots, aren't they? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, he really made, like, Damien really made an effort with the Old Red. Like, he'd have flags out, like there'd be like this centenary neon sign behind the bar. Like, it was a real
Nice.
showcase to Norwich, a Norwich pub. And I know that he's gone now, and I don't think they're the same, which is really sad. I mean, I remember there being another pub in like a few pubs in London. That, like, one of them was like a West Bromwich Albion pub. It was called the Albion. It had a lovely old sign on the front of it, and it was like those kind of places, like in London, are real safe havens for, like, you know, expats of those parts of the country, right? And it's where you can meet like-minded fans and maybe make new friends and have you know, share losses and memories and wins. But yeah, I think a lot of these places now are dying a death. You've got sports bars and they just kill the vibe. Yeah, it's great. Like, you've got 5 different screens. You can look like this and you'll always see the football, but it loses that community spirit, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent, but
That's
No,
right.
that's right. I should say, as a kid, I must shout out this place because it was a place, because they're not there. The Champion was a place we used to go, and then we'd head on the little subway bit. But the lady used to work there called Connie. She used to give me like a little pack of fruit pastels there, and I would never forget that. So that was like one of my first memories of like going to from the Champion all the way down. I think we then migrated to the Wall Pack later on, but the Champion was always a good one. It's a proper old, like you said, old sort of proper Norwich pubs. You know, so it's good.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Right. So, little bit of question about content creation. So, what inspired you to start the channel in the first place, and how does being a Norwich fan influence it, if it does?
It definitely influences it. So yeah, it's lockdown. I'd sort of done all the work for my students I could online, helping them. It was a really strange time, but then there was a bit of spare time, and a lot of my friends said, "Come on, I teach sort of performance and sport. I teach lots of things which is like making students more confident in themselves, because I'm a SEN teacher." And they were like, "You like a bit of performance? Get in front of the camera. Download this app." So I did TikTok, and off I went. But the weird thing with TikTok, unlike the other apps, was you get an instant hit of views, which I'd never seen before. And I was like, am I doing something right here? And then it sort of grew from there. And I started then homing in on teacher content and school life content, and then realized people liked it and it was quite unique. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't many teachers of TikTok on there. It was more Americans. So when you got a couple of Brits, it was like, oh, nice one, let's have the Brits on there. And yeah, now, yeah, it's ever like TikTok started to become a huge, fast growing app, like they all did. You know, they started to evolve from, with reels and shorts. They then followed suit. And yeah, people just really like my content. I started doing live shows. I started doing sort of helpful videos, top tips revision. I worked so hard though. Like, I can't tell people, like, if it wasn't for lockdown, having that time, it's a terrible time, I know, for a lot of people, but for me, I had time to do stuff. So I mean, you guys must find, as you were doing your podcast, the amount of time and effort I had to keep editing and pushing and going live, and I did 3 videos per day. It was so hard. It was such hard work. And I kind of spread the message to my students that, because when I go into schools now, like around Norfolk, and talking about being safe online, and every kid really wants to be like a YouTuber. Like, do you remember our day? Everyone wanted to be David Beckham or like Victoria Beckham, whatever, right? Or a pop idol. Well, now they want to be YouTube content creators all the time, or doing podcasts. So what I try and preach is that, yes, it is great, it's fun, and you've got to be safe, obviously. But if you get yourself a job, so if you want to be like a landscape gardener or a painter or decorator, do a before video, do an after video. Use content creation to show your business and your skills. If you're an artist, same thing. Or tell a story, So try and do something helpful. So that's what my niche was. It was trying to do comedy and make light. And then I think your second question was being a Norwich fan.
How did it influence it?
It's great. I mean, if you want to get comments, chuck a Norwich shirt on, and it's wonderful. I mean, the internet, I have to say, loves Norwich over Ipswich. And I mean, generally, like, obviously Ipswich fans, bless you. Thanks so much for giving me comments. I love the fuel. But it does, football really connects us. It sounds so cliche, but when I chuck a Norwich shirt on in one of my sketches or something, like one of my favorite sketches to do, and I do it every year, is non-school uniform day. And you always have that kid who wears the full kit. I won't say the full words of that one, but I chuck the Norwich kit on with pride, and I do the video, and I've got followers from like the Philippines to Canada, And they go, and people are like, that's a Norwich City top. I like Norwich. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's
great.
yeah.
Like, go Yellows. But then you get so many comments coming left, right, and centre, like, oh, Norwich, yeah, you're a great team, you're a yo-yo team, whatever. And you're like, yeah, but you're feeding me comments. I love it.
Yeah.
You're pushing the video. Ipswich on top, mind the gap. I'm like, you haven't beat us for like, I don't know. The best
16
thing
years.
is, I know it sounds funny, but like high schoolers who attack my stuff from Ipswich, they go, we're better than you. Like, mate, you've not been alive. You've never seen your team ever beat us. That must hurt, just. And it's just it's like good banter. It's fun banter. And I've got Ipswich followers who go, do you know what? You're the only Norwich guy I follow. I really like that. Like, I keep it fun. Like, I don't ever say nothing nasty about, I just say, look, you're an Ipswich fan. You made a mistake by supporting blue and white. That's it. Apart from that,
Yeah.
carry on your life. Have a good time. So yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. And content creation's fun. And I love being a Norwich fan and just putting it on there. And it's connected to me with people like you, Amber's Army.
Yeah.
I met the King this year. It was random,
Wow.
absolutely random.
You talk
Shaking
about
hands with
Elvis? You talk about Elvis?
Elvis. Oh, the kid. No, I'll just pop the collar up. No, not Elvis. The Charles, of course, at Buckingham. But yeah, it was good. So yeah, it's
Amazing.
great. I love it. Absolutely love it. And the last thing I'd say about it is, like, it's not often teachers walk down a corridor, like City College, any high school, primary school, and students put up a fist pump and go, "Right, sir, I like your stuff. Cringe that it is. You're all right." When's the last time someone actually said that to their teacher? I tell students, put your lanyard on, put your time properly. Yes, of course. Yeah, no problem, teacher. You're going to put that in a video. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So you get a mark of respect as well. It's lovely. I really like that.
So where do you for the viewers, all 5 of them at home, this is a running theme joke, don't worry, it won't affect you at all, but it's just something I always say. Where do you operate out of? Do you have a part-time, full-time teaching position as well somewhere?
So I'm 4 days a week currently at City College as a SEND teacher. So
Right.
we work in inclusive learning. So we do things like mechanics, carpentry, sport, performing arts, PSHE. We do conservation work in our local area. So we're doing doing an award. And then one day, I've just only started last 6 months, just taking a little bit of a break on a Wednesday to do my content creating, because it is getting bigger, it's evolving. I got asked to go play, like, to do things for the day, and I didn't want to mess things up with my students, because I think that is one thing I have been preaching to my students at the same time, like, keep my job. The thing about the internet is I could say something, do something, or just be cancelled the next day. And I tell my students this every day, like, I drive a Nissan Qashqai, right? They think I drive a Porsche. I'm not Mr. Beast. And I just kind of want them to understand I'm grounded, like this is who I am, so I don't earn the big bucks. I love doing it, I have fun doing it, but my main job is being a teacher at City College, and I absolutely love it.
So me and Jez, before we started the pod today, we were all talking about where we went growing up, post high school. And I went to City College, and I would maintain that they were the 3, I think I was there for 3 years, best years of my life. Like, coming from Durham, a small town which had Durham sixth form, whatever, great. It was really academic, great, fine. But I went to City College, and I'd grown up in Durham, right? So this is all I'd kind of known. With the odd trip to Norwich, go to the Castle Mall, as it was called then, go to McDonald's, whatever. But City College was like this whole new world, and I know that they've updated it since then, but it was just mind blowing. It's incredible. I met so many good people. Shout out to Ed Poston, one of my best friends who lives in New York. It's where I met him. I've known him for that long. 2001 is when I first started there, September 2001, and I just had such an amazing time coming from a small town to what I thought was the other side of the world. In this, and Norwich City College was just a breath of fresh air to me. New people, and I always thought lecturers were excellent. I did media history, psychology, and then I dropped psychology to do film studies. And I got film studies, media studies, and history. So an A, a B, and a C. And I walked away just remembering, and I just loved it. I absolutely loved City College. I've got nothing better, nothing more to say it's just such a good place.
Yeah,
I'll pass
likewise.
that to the principal.
Yeah, and likewise for me, I did a BTEC in sports and exercise science from 2002, and it was 2003. Sorry, because I had a year at Hewitt. Weirdly,
Okay.
I went to the Hewitt sixth form, and
Yeah.
it didn't really suit me. So I then sort of found the course at City College, and it's the best thing I ever did, really, because that's what I then went in to do at university, and kind of what I do now. Really, I'm very sports orientated. So despite the size of me, I am still very sports orientated.
People don't know what you look like, though. You might just have a really small body underneath that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not these days. But
I've got one really good anecdote that comes out of my time at Norwich City College. So I'm giving him free advertising as well, which is annoying. I had this tutor called Simon Scarrow, and he was like the epitome of someone who was kind of like was there. He was a media studies teacher. He was there doing media studies, but he kind of didn't really want to be there. He was a novelist. He was a novelist, right? And we always had a bit of a laugh with him and at him, not to his face, obviously, but we were all like, yeah, your books, whatever, what your writing career. Anyway, Simon Scarrow has gone on to be one of the best Roman fantasy novel writers of his generation. Have you ever read Sharp, or do you remember that TV show Sharp?
Oh yeah.
It's like that, but for Romans. And I think he's moved into, it's called the Eagle something, or the Eagle whatever.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Simon Scarrow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
brilliant. Absolutely blows my mind. So yeah, there's a bit of free advertising for him.
Fantastic.
So you've skipped question 5. Should I go back to it? Dream signing.
Nah, push on with 7 because I'm just conscious of time.
Okay. So behind the scenes, what's the funniest or strangest thing that's happened whilst filming your content?
You could probably guess this. So I'm obviously, the college are very good about this. I film obviously at the college. Sometimes I film at home. I'm glad so at the college, the cleaners have seen me a lot more than probably I want anyone to see me. Like I did a sketch in the college PE room, right? The PE hall, thinking there's no one in today. Like it's an insert day or what, a training day. And I did something about like different students as they come in, like excuses they give you for PE. So I dress up as absolutely everything. My kids have seen me in all kinds of different clothing. They're just like, Dad, you just be who you are, right? So they're used to that. But I was dressed as a full-blown woman up in this costume, and I'm just giving it large about why I'm not ready for PE in whatever shape or form, and saying it. And the cleaner just walks in, and I hear the door. It's proper loud in our sports. It's like, eh. And I just remember, just like I hear this mop drop, and it's echoed, and it's clearly like, what the heck is going on? I've got my big like ring light going on here, my TikTok light thing. And I'm like, all right, darling. And I just turn around and go, all right, mate, what's up? And I just didn't know what to do.
You owned it.
And that now, their cleaners are used to it now. I think they know when I'm filming, so they don't knock on the door. But yeah, I mean, none of my students have ever caught me making TikToks. But yeah, because I'll just dress up whatever, really. But so the cleaners have definitely caught me too many times that I'd like to count. But yeah. So yeah, that's the most embarrassing thing. My bosses have never caught me, thank goodness. So it's like that they want to catch me in like making the videos, but I do have quite a strict rule because I have to do all my emails, all the calls to my parents way before I can film. So we're talking like 5:30 until I do it, because if I've had like a day with the students and the parents haven't heard something, I can't post anything because that's not right. So that's that rule. But yeah, the cleaners have caught me too many times, chaps. It's not good.
That's amazing.
At least you owned it. I think that's the thing. Yeah. It's like when you're like, oh, I'm really sorry, is a tendency to do that with British, but the fact that you brought them into the sketch or the skit or whatever you want to call it, I mean, that's off to you, mate. That takes some doing.
Yeah, definitely.
I've learned to filter. You guys must know it's like being doing stuff on the internet and stuff like. I've built up a filter now. I think when I've hit my 30, since I hit about 35, I care about what I say and do, but I just don't care anymore what people think. I'm like, this is me. Scroll on. If you don't like it, scroll off. I don't get fazed by stuff online, like and stuff like that. I just don't. I'm a bit different. I feel like our generation is different to that. I mean, I've been in the Bungay High playground, and that's rougher. Do you know what I mean? So bring it on. Whatever the internet's got, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, so I just own it. Like you say, you're like, yeah, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm not going to apologise. I'm having a laugh. So, and it's engaged people in a positive way. So that's the main bit.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to play a horse trumpet yesterday, a hunting trumpet yesterday on a podcast we filmed yesterday. I went, didn't even do that. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, we were talking about brass
Trombone.
instruments, weren't we? So yeah, trombone being the poor relative of the brass instrument community. Shall we say?
Why were we talking about that? This is the kind of stuff we talk about on this show.
Yeah, it was your man, wasn't it, Georgie Hume? Who was the I don't know how we actually got into that, to be fair. I think we will go back to question 5 because I think we've still got a little bit of time if that's all right with you, Tommy.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Dream signing. So past or present. If you could bring any player to Norwich, who are you choosing? And that's not just like go on.
So the signing for me, and I'm sure you guys would agree, at the time in the past, and I happily admit when this happened on around Christmas Day it was or New Year's, I did cry when Delia Smith said we bought him. It's Darren Huckabee, and it still to this day gets me emotional because it was the one time Norwich did something in my time where I was like, we've gone gutsy, we're buying, we're going for it. We just bought Darren Huckabee, and I've never felt so emotional. I was like, oh, I love my club, man. Like we've got Hucks. And he's invincible, and that was the time when Crouch came along on did what he did as well, because I think he was having a rough time at a club and he needed us. So Huckabee was the best signing I think for me. That feeling of when we signed him. Pookie obviously because he was free. If that never gets mentioned, it's just Now my dream signing sounds a bit ridiculous, but I'm a bit of a realist because I like Norwich don't go like your Ronaldo's, your Messi's, right? So or your Mbappe. So there's no point saying that. So. This is me being Norwich. Give him a year, rough season. Maybe he has an injury. I'll take Chris Woods right now from Nottingham Forest if he's having a rough time. It sounds a bit weird, but like give it a year and maybe things. I know he's had a good start in the Premier and all that, but Chris Woods is the kind of player I like at a club. Like I miss a Grant Holt figure. Josh Sargent's incredible, but something I always think Norwich are missing is the Grant Holt kind of strength, and I feel like Chris Woods has that. There's something about him. He's a target man.
Yeah.
And I think I also grew up in the days where Ewan Roberts, if you remember the play, it used to be like Annie Marshall, shouldn't say that word really, or Robert Green would kick the ball, basically hoof it to Roberts, and he'd hold it up on his chest, pass it down, and then Macca would go. I miss that, that style of play that we did. There's nothing wrong hoofing the ball up sometimes. You don't have to do the pep. A target man. So like Chris Woods would be one for me. I know it's not dreamy, but I thought about this one. So I'll go for someone like him.
Yeah, I think you mentioned obviously the Roberts time, and I think that one of the best times I remember following Norwich as a strike partnership, if you like, was Roberts and Bellamy. I thought them two were so in sync. And it was the little large partnership. It was Bellamy was only, I think, like maybe 18, 19 at the time, but you could already see what sort of player he was going to become. And obviously Kevin Muscat did what he did, and the rest is history, I guess. But I think for me, Paul Gascoigne, he was a player. So was you going to say Paul Gascoigne, Morgan?
No, I just think you're right.
I think when I first started watching football was Euro '96. And I think that was when I first properly become aware of football, right? So that tournament for me was so special, and it was the Scotland game where he's done the volley, the little toe. If he had if he was wearing size 12s, he was going to get
against Germany, Yeah.
And what would have his life might have been completely different if that had happened. That's one for another day. But he was such a talented player and such a likable character, and I think having someone like that at Norwich would have just been exceptional. So that would be mine.
Dream.
Yeah, but if we're sort of saying past, present, he would be the one that I would choose. If we could bring him back in his prime now, obviously. Do you want me to do the last one, Morgan, before we do the random questions of the week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so sorry. Finally, before we do the random question of the week, and you've got to prepare yourself for that, by the way. One message to Canary faithful: what would you say to the fellow fans right now It could be about anything.
If you are like, I don't know, if you're like 10 or 11, you're now starting to understand and support Norwich, stick with it, because sometimes you're going to go through phases in football where we're not always going to go straight back up to the Prem like we once did. So your mum and dad, and we probably told you we're in the Prem. You will, though, get there. Football is cycles. If you watch Man United right now, your mum and dad will tell you that Man United was the most unstoppable team ever. And you're going to have to just wait with Norwich. We will get back up there eventually. And it's all cycles. We'll get there, and we're going to be brilliant again. And I trust in Manning, and I see a process, and we just got to stick by him. Don't be too rash. So wait for the process.
That's fair. That's a fair shout. I mean, I'm with you on that. I think there's the early signs for me is that he's building a very solid defensive unit, right? So that's what he's sorting out first. So he's made us a very difficult side to play against, like we did at Coventry. We really did frustrate them, like we did against Blackburn, where we kept a clean sheet, like we did against Portsmouth, where the goalkeepers pulled out, Weldy penalty save. He's making this very difficult to break down, and now I've said that, Wrexham are going to go and score 5 against us.
When this goes out, they'd have scored 5 against us.
It's Wolverine versus Deadpool, isn't it? It's massive. Come on, Wolverine. Come on. Yeah. I hope he turns up. I hope it's going to be like that. They both work. I'd hope they both walk on the pitch as the mascots, as you've got Wolverine and Deadpool.
We've got a Beyond the Barclay wish list, so watch this space.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I did see. Right. Oh, Tommy's gone. Well, he'll come back on, I'm sure. So, pardon?
You got too excited.
We're going to keep the recording going because he's going to come back on, I would have thought. So unless his wife's pulled out the plug because she wanted to watch Dexter.
Yeah, probably. So go on.
Just whilst Tommy's away. Has he messaged? No, he hasn't. Just whilst he's away. So shall we just talk a little bit about what we've got coming up on the channel towards the end of the year? Obviously, bearing in mind this one's probably going to go out in October.
So we'd have had some, for those who follow us, would have had some. He's back.
Yeah, he's back. We were just filling there because we didn't actually press pause. So
I thought you booted me.
No.
I thought you just got too excited.
No, I thought I don't know what happened there. I do apologize. My end is my Wi-Fi's good. Sorry, lads. Sorry.
No, it's fun. It's fun. This platform we use can sometimes be a little bit temperamental, so don't worry too much about that. I think we're pretty much there anyway, weren't we? So I think it is time for Morgan's random question of the week.
Oh. Don't worry about it. Don't be concerned.
My students ask me some random stuff every day, so this can't be that bad.
He's just ruined it.
Do it again.
I'll have to add something else into it now.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Don't worry.
Random question of the week.
I just love that. Sorry.
Don't know why I did that. It's the first thing I got to hand. It's really good. It's a hose lock. I spray my house plants with it. So
it's good.
There are other house sprays out there.
It's all about the aesthetics, and you nailed it. It was great.
Well, I was going to say our product link that as well. We might make a bit of money out of that.
Yeah, it's a mister.
Other misters are available.
So, if you cast your mind back through the annals of entertainment history, who has been your most liked or most hated fictional teacher?
Oh, what a question.
That's why the random question of the week is a good one.
Demon Headmaster, hands down.
Damn you! Damn you!
Sorry,
I was going to say
had nightmares. I had nightmares, boys. Like that guy. Don't look in his eyes. I had others in my head, but he just straight away. That bloke was petrifying. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Jez?
Yeah. I remember the Demon Headmaster.
It was a fairly shonky BBC children's show, wasn't it? But it was just just had that edge to it that made it a little bit like, I'm not really sure I like this guy.
Yeah. What about can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. So 2 for me. You said most. You said most liked as well, right?
Liked or disliked. It's up to you.
Okay, I got 2. So have you both seen Bad Education?
Yes.
I have
Jack
not.
White. It's very funny. Jack Whitehill, who's plays. Oh, what's he? I can't even remember his name in it, but he's a teacher, and all the kids are, shall we say, probably through Jack Whitehill's fault, are probably a little bit behind in their education. Bless them, but they're all
bottom
funny.
set. They're bottom set.
Bottom set. Yeah, yeah, but they're so funny. It's such a great. It's underrated that, and it's got Gavin and Stacey, the guy Gavin.
He's brilliant.
He's really funny in it, and I think he's funnier in that than he is in Gavin and Stacey.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to Horn. It's Matthew Horn, isn't it? Because he's brilliant in that. And also, what about the teacher out of the In-Betweeners, Greg Davis's character?
Oh, I completely forgot about him.
His exit one about, please don't come back to the school. We don't want to see you. And don't murder anyone. Don't kill anyone. It looks bad on the school. I've actually done that speech with my students. Like, don't, if you do something bad, don't tell them what course you're on. All right.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
love that.
I'd hate him as a teacher, but I loved him in the In-Betweeners. But for me, has to be Jack Black in School of Rock. No.
Oh, crikey. He wasn't the teacher. That's you got to remember that he was a sub of a sub. So that's fair. Okay, I'll let you have that one.
It's a technicality.
There's a technicality. He didn't sign properly.
Yeah.
But
what about
I love that film. Such a
Morgan.
film.
Yeah, no, it was. What about Walter White as the chemistry teacher? Breaking Bad.
I mean, he stole his apparatus. So that's a no. Yeah. And he shouldn't be meeting students outside of school, even if they're a former student. That's a massive. But yeah, you can't do that.
I like the way that you honed in. Sorry, carry on.
No, I say School of Rock. His name was Ned Schneebly, I think his name was. He took the name of, but yeah.
I was going to say, I like the way that you honed in on the fact that he's meeting students outside of school, not the fact that he was making crystal meth.
Well,
that's the issue.
That obviously is the next point, but from a school point, he took school apparatus that he shouldn't have done. That's a lot of money for the school. And obviously that bit wasn't good. And became a gang lord. Don't do that. But yeah,
no, definitely not. Yeah, what a great program that was there.
Shout out to Principal Seymour Skinner. I mean, he had to take him a lot. I always liked Seymour Skinner, and I always liked the head teacher from Recess. He was quite fierce, and that lady, she was like, But I like those kind of Waterloo Road. Don't watch it. That's not what teaching's about. That will put you off.
What about Teachers? The show from the early 2000s.
Yeah, the guy who's in Walking Dead. Fantastic.
Yeah, really good show. And I can't believe he went on to have such a ridiculous career, like from that to The Walking Dead for however many years.
And Peggy out of King of the Hill she was a supply teacher, wasn't she?
Oh yeah. Crikey, yeah.
I think she was quite a good supply teacher, you know. But
not Mr. Garrison. I can't say that because we got the things he said to those kids in South Park.
Oh fuck. Yeah, well, that was a blast. That was a blast from the past. Well, right. I think that's us. Tommy, thank you so much. It's been brilliant. It's been so funny. And best of luck. Genuinely, best of luck with everything that you do. And do keep in touch as well. And if we can help you in any way, obviously, just give me and Morgan a shout.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on. And I really appreciated the interview. It's great fun because I think Morgan asked me, like, what's the best subjects out there? And I was like, history. And then Morgan's obviously studied history, but I went right in on geography teachers. So please use that. I don't care. So, yeah, I loved it. I really, really appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks for being part of Amma's Army. And, yeah, it's an absolute pleasure tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I should shout out. Obviously, my wife's in the room, so I shout her out because I'll just get told off in a minute. But yeah, my wife, obviously, because she is my backbone for what I do. But I must shout out my dad because he got me into Norwich City, and I wouldn't be sat in front of you. So massive shout out to my dad because he's a massive Norwich fan. He sits in the Upper Barclay. So yeah, my dad.
And finally, where can people find you on socials? What's your handle?
Yeah, teacher Tommy T, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Find me on there. Content for all ages and stages of life, and for everyone, any ethnicity. You'll love it, have fun, enjoy it, and reminisce over the good times of school. So yeah,
fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Morgan, as well, for your time and effort. Top marks.
Top marks.
A-star performance today.
Do they still give A-stars out, Tommy?
No, it's numbers.
That's the numbers now, mate. It's all like nines. Yes, a 9 for you. Both of you got a 9. Well done.
Thank you so much.
I'm really showing my age now, aren't I?
We all are.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone else listening, please do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content. We are also on all of the podcast stations, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, every single one that you can ever think of. And please do follow us on all of the social media channels as well for more updates. I've been Jez Davies.
I've been Morgan Hewitt.
I've been teacher Tommy.
Bye, everyone. See you later.